civil servants must equip themselves with latest knowledge and skills. Postmortems on 12 Orang Asli suspected of pneumonia-related deaths to be conducted. Hello and good evening. You're watching News on 2 with me, Muhammad Amin Carlos. Now, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad says civil servants must equip themselves with the latest knowledge and skills to remain competitive in line with the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. Well, he said this is important as Industry 4.0 involves automation technology which will directly change the nature of the workflow.
Perkhidmatan awam tidak kecuali dalam arus teknologi ini. Industri 4.0 akan menjadi pemangkin kepada proses transformasi sistem pentadbiran kerajaan. Oleh itu, semua agensi kerajaan perlu bersama-sama memastikan bahawa penjawat awam tidak ketinggalan, sebaliknya akan sentiasa up to date dengan kemahiran yang baru melalui pelbagai inisiatif seperti upskilling dan reskilling sebagaimana yang digariskan dalam dasar kebangsaan Industri 4.0.
The Premier further hoped that all civil servants will be aware that their work is something noble when done well, and on that premise, they must continue to work with excellence and reap benefits in the world and hereafter. And on another note, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today said civil servants must be neutral in discharging their duties and not demonstrating blind loyalty to the ruling party. The Prime Minister said they must, however, understand that they have to abide by the actions and policies of the government led by the ruling party to ensure a smooth administration.
Kadang-kadang agak sukar bagi kita untuk mengalihkan kesetiaan kita daripada kerajaan yang terdahulu dengan kerajaan yang baru. Namun demikian, oleh kerana kita terima sistem demokrasi, dan sistem demokrasi memang pun kadang-kadang bertukar kerajaan melalui pilihan raya, maka kita perlu ingat bahawa anggota dalam pemerintahan, civil service, perkhidmat awam perlu bebas daripada mengikatkan diri dengan parti yang memerintah.
The Prime Minister said this in a keynote speech when addressing Malacca civil servants in Ayekuro. Also present were Malacca Chief Minister Adli Zahari and State Executive Councillors. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Senator P. Waithamurthy, has confirmed that the two deaths of Orang Asli from the Batik tribe in Kuala Koh, Guamusang were due to pneumonia. Well, it said due to the remoteness of the settlement, information on the deaths were received late. Now, speaking to reporters after attending a briefing on the outbreak at the Disease Control Division at the Kelantan Health Department, Waithamurthy said authorities were informed that the deaths happened due to the migration and the bodies were buried within the area. However, he added that the actual cause of death will be investigated. Waithamurthy explained that two postmortems had been carried out, which found cause to be pneumonia, but how the outbreak came about so far was unknown. And of the population of 186, he said 83 of the Orang Asli are being treated while the rest are found to be healthy. He said the health department now has taken preventive steps, which are to find active cases, do isolation and treatment for those affected at hospitals. Well, meanwhile, the Health Ministry is ready to perform post-mortems on the 12 Orang Asli from the Batik tribe who were buried within the area. Its Minister, Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, said this can be done should there be any requests to do so. According to Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli, the ministry has to date conducted post-mortems on 2 victims and discovered that they had died of pneumonia. The minister said police had conducted an investigation and had tried to locate the bodies of the 12 Orang Asli who died but failed. Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli said this after listening to a briefing on the health crisis which struck the Orang Asli community in Kampung Kuala Koh, Post Lebir at the Gua Musang Hospital. The Kuala Lumpur High Court today heard that former Prime Minister Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak had influence over the Retirement Fund Incorporated or KWAP's decision to grant a loan to SRC International Sendirian Berhad. And former CEO of KWAP, Dato Azian Muhammad Noor, 66, said Dato Sri Najib, who was also the finance minister at the time, was her ultimate boss and thus had influence over KWAP's decision to grant a loan to SRC International Sendirian Berhad. Now, Dato Azian, who is the 38th prosecution witness in Dato Sri Najib's trial, which enters its 21st day, said this when re-examined by Deputy Public Prosecutor Dato Ishak Muhammad Yusof. Well, she said although there was no legal compulsion on the accused's part, he still wielded a certain degree of influence given that he was the finance minister and the fact that Ministry of Finance Incorporated owned SRC International Sendirian Berhad. Dato Sri Najib, 66, is charged with 3 counts of criminal breach of trust, 1 count of abusing his position, and 3 counts of money laundering involving SRC International Sendirian Berhad funds amounting to 42 million ringgit. Hearing before High Court Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali continues. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today set 4th July for the remention of the case of Kinabatangan MP Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar Radin and his wife Datin Sri Zizi Izzeti for corruption charges involving 2.8 million ringgit. Now, the date was set by Judge Rosina Ayub soon after the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, Deputy Public Prosecutor Alan Suman Pillai told the court that there were some documents still incomplete. Now, lawyer Dato K. Kumarendran, who represents Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar and his wife, confirmed that he had received the document. And the prosecution also informed that they would make an application for the cases of Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar and Datin Sri Zizi to be tried together and transferred to the High Court. On the 3rd of May, Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar pleaded not guilty at the Sessions Court on 3 counts of receiving a total of 2.8 million in bribes for obtaining approval for Felcra to make a 150 million ringgit investment in unit trust products of Public Mutual. Meanwhile, Datin Sri Zizi, who was charged of abetting her husband, also pleaded not guilty to the same offences. The 12th day of Op Selamat 15 in conjunction with the Aidilfitri festive season recorded an additional 4 road fatalities, bringing the death toll to 193 as of yesterday. The Royal Malaysia Police said the number of accidents also increased to 19,515 cases nationwide compared to 18,053 cases yesterday. And Selangor recorded the highest number of fatalities with 37 deaths, followed by Johor with 28, while Perak recorded 19 deaths. According to PDRM, a total of 3,544 operations were conducted nationwide, with 266,294 summonses issued for various offences. Now, PDRM said as many as 573 burglary cases involving 383 homes and premises were recorded within the 12 days of Op Selamat nationwide. Selangor recorded the highest number of burglary cases at 142 cases, followed by Sabah with 58 cases. The Kedah Road Transport Department has, of yesterday, issued 1,370 summonses in several operations since the first day of Op Selamat 15, which was launched on 29th May. Its director, Isma Suhaimi Sharif, said the summonses were issued for various road offences. Elaborating further, Isma said 483 summonses were issued for driving without any licence, 549 for driving with expired road tax, plates and also for not having insurance coverage, among others. Apart from that, 6 lorries, a car and 18 motorcycles were also seized for various offences, and the cases are being investigated under the Road Transport Act 1987. Meanwhile, during last night's operation at Bandar Darul Aman in Jetra, around 197 summonses were issued for various offences. The operation also saw the arrest of 2 men after they tested positive for methamphetamine and 3 Indonesian nationals believed to be illegal immigrants. They also seized a lorry, a car and 2 motorcycles during the operation. The National Anti-Drugs Agency, AADK, detained 7 out of 220 motorcyclists after they tested positive for drugs during the Operasi Bersepadu Hari Raya Aidilfitri 2019 at the Leboh Alor Gajah Melaka Jasin Highway last night. Now, State Road Transport Department RTD Director Muhammad Firdaus Sharif said all those detained were sent to the Jasin Police Station to be remanded. According to Muhammad Firdaus, a total of 420 vehicles were inspected and action was taken against 59 vehicles. Meanwhile, 201 traffic offences were recorded during the operation, namely driving without license, driving without insurance and many more. A total of 13 vehicles were also seized, while 22 vehicles were given prohibition notice. 190 summonses were issued during the inspection for various offences such as driving without license, driving with an expired license and driving with an expired L license. And coming up next, Goldsmith shop loses 5 million ringgit to professional burglars. Welcome back. Now, the Transport Ministry today said it was never informed of any proposal to build a new airport in Pulau Pinang following a report that 2 companies had proposed the construction of 2 airports in the northern states to serve as an integrated facility for the northern region of the peninsula. Now, in a statement released, the ministry said it was never invited to any discussion on the proposals and never received any proposal papers on the 2 airports. Now, the statement also said that the power to build or operate an aerodrome or to allow any licensed company to build, maintain and operate an aerodrome is vested in the Transport Minister under Act 3 of the Civil Aviation Act. The ministry further urged all parties not to speculate regarding the issue without getting a valid confirmation from them. Now, the statement added that at the moment, the ministry is currently planning to upgrade the Pulau Pinang International Airport in Bayan Lepas. A goldsmith shop in Shah Alam lost about 5 million ringgit when it was broken into early Friday. Now, Shah Alam District Police Chief ACP Baharudin Mat Taib said the heist was only realized by the shop owner today at about 10 a.m. when he was about to start its operation after being closed for a week for Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Speaking to reporters at the scene at Section 7 in Shah Alam today, ACP Baharudin said from the initial investigation, police believe that the incident occurred between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. last Friday. He added that the crime was believed to have been committed by more than 2 professional burglars.
Kejadian ini dilakukan oleh para penjenayah yang berpengalaman, profesional. Dari belakang masuk melalui lubang kita boleh katakan lubang blower dan masuk terus melalui shilling dan masuk ke dalam kawasan kedai mas ni di kawasan strong room tu, bilik kebal tu. Untuk makluman juga kedai ini tidak beroperasi ataupun cuti beroperasi raya tutup pada hari Ahad lagi. Apa mana kata urusan perniagaan tu dah ditutup hari Ahad yang lepas sebelum hari raya lah, mana 2 hari sebelum hari raya telah ditutup. Dekoder TV itu telah diambil oleh penjenayah.
ACP Baharudin said the burglars were believed to have used a metal cutting machine to cut the door of the vault and the safe boxes. He added that the case is being investigated under Section 457 of the Penal Code. A double-story house in Kampong Padang Kulim, Kedah burned to the ground while the occupants were sound asleep last night. They, however, were fortunate to have escaped unhurt. While narrowly escaping the inferno, all belongings in the house, including 3 motorcycles and a car, were lost in the fire. State Fire and Rescue Department in a statement said 2 fire engines, each from the Kulim High Tech and Kulim Fire Station, led by Operations Commander K. Chandran, hurried to the location upon receiving the emergency call at 9:04 p.m. They arrived about 6 minutes later and the fire was eventually put out at 10:40 p.m. No loss of lives were reported and the cause of the fire is under investigation. The floods which hit 3 villages in the Hilir Perak district last Friday have receded, and the remaining 46 evacuees from 16 families at the flood relief center at Sekolah Kebangsaan Changkat-Jong, Teluk Intan returned to their homes this morning. Now, based on the report released by Hilir Perak District Disaster Management Committee Chairman Marlia Muhammad Belia, the evacuees were allowed to return to their homes after getting approval by the relevant security agencies. The relief center was closed after all the evacuees returned to their homes. And heavy rain triggered the floods, which affected Kampong Batu 7, Kampong Batu 8, and Kampong Batu 9, and forced up to 127 people to be evacuated. Marlia also thanked all the agencies involved in the evacuation of the villages and management of the relief center. Meanwhile, the Kampar District Disaster Management Committee Secretariat said in a statement that 14 people from 2 families were still at the flood relief center at the community hall of Kampong Kuala Dipang as at 9 a.m. today. That concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, Health Ministry to conduct post-mortems on 12 orang asli suspected of pneumonia-related deaths. Now, News on 2 will come on again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon with more updates. Till then, I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos. Thanks for watching and you take care.